I'm Joan Blades, a co-founder of Move On and Moms Rising and Living Room Conversations. My background is as a mediator attorney, and finding common ground is really what I like doing the most. I think a lot of people have forgotten that when Move On started, it was midway in the impeachment scandal, and it was one-sentence petition: Congress must immediately censure the president and move on to pressing issues facing the nation. You could love Bill Clinton or hate Bill Clinton and agree that we needed to move on and focus on important issues. And so we had Democrats and Republicans, Libertarians and Green Party people, and it was a very unifying statement, very common sense, get back to business. And I do believe that's the reason it went viral. And when we sent under 100 of these requests to sign our petition to our friends and family, we had 100,000 people sign it within a week, which was unheard of back in '98. This was really apparent that people wanted to have a voice and they wanted a common sense solution where our leaders would work together. And it was really wonderful to have all the voices of many people that had never been engaged in politics ever before. Living Room Conversations concept is very simple and granular. Two friends, a conservative and a progressive, each invite two friends. So just 6 people for really intimate conversation about an important issue. In the case of the pilot project, it was about energy/climate. And each and every one of those conversations was successful. And what does success mean? It means that the conversation was civil, but more than that, people came away feeling like they'd really heard the other, and they found that they liked the people they were sitting with. And a majority of them wanted to continue having conversations and found something transformative in some cases to see that these people that they had felt so anxious about sitting down with, because that's the hardest part. Our society has gotten so it's no longer polite to talk to people about issues other than the weather, which is a terrible problem. We now are able to have separate narratives for what's going on in the world. So where we used to have shared understanding of things, more and more it's become separate. And that is hugely destructive to our democracy. So we need to reweave our narratives, and that only really begins once we recognize that we share values with these people that have become the other tribe. Research shows facts don't convince people. First, you have to have a relationship and you have to have shared values, and then all of a sudden the facts are very important. If the people you're talking to are not people that you respect and you want to have a connection with, you don't really hear them very well. Once you have people that really care about each other and are respectful for each other, then you can have a more difficult conversation that's constructive. And I think that we can have hundreds of those conversations right now, and thousands, and tens of thousands next year, because they're simple enough that any co-host that want to do it and want to follow the structure can do so and feel fairly confident that they're going to have a good experience, and they can then share it with others. And for the tougher issues, that's why we need the dialogue community. The tougher issues, we're going to want some facilitators and we're going to want some different systems. But it's weaving these different ways of talking with each other together that's going to allow us to change dynamics right now, which are fairly toxic. The opportunity to have this be a part of dialogue as it progresses and weave in a more diverse group is really tremendous. The living room conversations are at that stage where we're learning what it is we need to be talking about. They're open source, so anyone can use them for any kind of conversation they want. So far we've had conversations about energy, money and politics, immigration. We're just hoping that people will feed back in what they learn so that we all can learn together and make them better and better. It provides the grassroots support for good leaders on either side to move forward with political solutions. Citizens have common sense, they've got goodwill, they're smart, And when you engage them, I believe they will provide the foundations, I hope, for turning around what has become a partisanship that is deeply dysfunctional in the political realm. I really believe in the grassroots citizen engagement piece as the very best way for us to change things.